Hello everyone and welcome back to Rossi Mac Outdoors, and thanks for joining me on another wild camp. We're up in the Peak District tonight, so I'm going to get my bag out of the boot, get that on my back, head out, and I'll bring you back shortly with some more information about the plans for tonight. Well, we are heading along part of the Pennine Way towards the B29 Overexposed Crash Site. For those of you that are not familiar with the Peak District or that area, it is the wreckage of an American bomber that crashed up here on its way to a former US air base in Warrington. I'm not 100% sure on the dates, but I'll get some more information on that once we get to the crash site. So that site is very close to the highest Shelfstone summit, so we're hopefully going to find somewhere around there to pitch up for the evening. Tell you what, it's a beautiful evening for it. It's just coming up to 7:30 now. Temperature's still about 18 degrees and absolutely not a breath of wind, which for anyone that's been up to this stretch of the Peak District before will know that is almost, it doesn't happen. It's one of the windiest places on earth. It's so flat and open. It's so rare to get a stretch up here with absolutely no wind. Here lies the wreckage of B29 Super Fortress Overexposed of the 16th Photographic Reconnaissance Squadron, US Air Force, which tragically crashed whilst descending through clouds on the 3rd of November 1948, killing all 13 crew members. The aircraft was on a routine flight from RAF Scampton to American Air Force Base Burtonwood, just outside Warrington. It is doubtful the crew ever saw the ground. Memorial laid by 367 Air Navigation Course of RAF Finningley on the 12th of November 1988. Well, here we are on the summit of highest Shelfstones. I'm not sure how well you'll be able to hear me because the wind has picked up a little bit, but that's just because it's so open up here. It's a really exposed stretch. So, you do expect a bit of breeze up here, but the temperature is still lovely. Must be, probably high teens. Well, I've had a good wander around and earmarked a couple of potential pitches for tonight, depending on the wind direction. Looking at the mountain forecast for Bleaklow, which is the highest peak sort of in this area, we're not expecting any more than sort of 10-mile-an-hour winds tonight, if that. So, I mean, the wind direction shouldn't really be an issue, but I do like sort of having a bit of protection where necessary and sort of staying away from any main paths, just to make sure that if there are any people about, that you're not sort of, creating any unwanted attention. Still a little bit early to be pitching up. There are still people about enjoying the last of this wonderful sunny day. So I'm going to get the chair out and sit and enjoy a couple of beers. Cheers. Cheers, lads. Something tells me I'm being watched. If this video never makes it to YouTube, then you know that I suffered the wrath of the demon sheep of the Peak District. Because this fella's got some pretty big horns on him. Well, it's just gone 9 o'clock. Sunset's in about half an hour. Let's get this tent pitched. There we go then. All pitched and set up. So we've got the OEX Fox 1. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of questions as to why, but I'll go through all that in a bit. But just to show you my sleeping setup for tonight. So we've got the Thermarest Neo Air X-Lite and the Berghaus Intrepid 700 sleeping bags. That's my summer bag, and the Trekology Aloft pillow. So yeah, I have gone for the summer bag tonight. It's not expected to get down below sort of 12 degrees, so that should be more than enough to cope with the conditions for tonight. So why did I end up with a Fox 1? Well, there's a bit of a story to it. So I'm in a WhatsApp group with a group of mates who we did a charity hike, the Sandstone Trail. It's 26 miles across the Cheshire countryside from Whitchurch to Frodsham. We did that to raise money for Mind, which is a mental health charity. Now, following the last of the lockdowns, one of the lads in the group suggested that we go wild camping. Now, at the time, I had no idea what wild camping was and what it was about, but I was struggling, as you know, everyone was coming out of lockdowns, you know, mentally sort of needing something to keep myself occupied, spending a lot of time indoors, which didn't really suit me. So I thought, well, you know, although I had nothing, no idea about what it was or what it entailed, I thought, why not give it a go? So when they suggested a date for coming out wild camping, I scrambled around last minute and bought basically all the cheapest gear I could get hold of, so straight to go outdoors. And yeah, the Fox 1 was the cheapest tent that they had. Now, we went out camping originally in December, so as you can imagine, it was cold, it was wet, it was windy, and I quickly realised that all the equipment that I'd packed into a 65 litre bag, 99% of which I didn't use, was never going to fit into a Fox 1. Hence me going out and buying the Nature Hike Cloud Peak 2, which I absolutely love. I think it's a great tent, especially for that budget. It ticks every box for me so far. Now, my reason for bringing the Fox 1 tonight is a couple of weeks time I'm going for a 2-night trip to the lakes with Eddie, one of the lads who's in the Peaky Hikers group, which is the group that, you know, originally we decided to go wild camping with. So shout out to all them boys for getting us all out and about. But yeah, for that Lake District trip, with it being 2 nights, I wanted to try and take my lightest possible setup. Now, with the Fox 1 and my summer sleeping bag, I've been able to fit all my gear into a 35 litre bag, a 35 litre rucksack, which compared to the 65 that I normally carry is a massive difference in weight and size. Allows me to be a little bit more agile, a bit more manoeuvrable, which, you know, for some of the hikes up in the Lake District you need. But having just set that Fox 1 up again and trying to unload all my gear and set my sleeping pad up and, you know, get the sleeping bag out and all the rest of it, even if I attempt to cook in the vestibule, it's just, yeah, it's no good. So I'm gonna have a look at buying a slightly bigger pack, probably a 38 litre, something like the Osprey Exos 38. I think I'll be happy with that. I'll be able to get my Nature Hike Cloud Peak 2, plus if I take my summer sleeping bag, I think I'll be able to fit all my gear with my Nature Hike into a 38 litre, so the Fox 1 can sort of take a back step. I mean, tonight, you know, conditions are about as good as it gets in the UK. You know, you're talking minimal wind, sort of 20 degrees, and I was still getting frustrated putting it up just for the lack of space. So I think yeah, I think the Fox one's going to find itself into the shed, and the Nature Hike Cloud Peak 2 can carry on being my number 1 tent. Well, I've got a Brewdog Hazy Jane Guava 5%. Let's give this a go. Yeah, it's not bad, that. I think it's as nice as Silk Road. I think that's probably my go-to beer at the moment, but yeah, it's tasty enough that I'd certainly bring it again. Peter Webb. Right then, it's just gone 10 o'clock, so it's time to get some food on. So we've got a fire pot, beef stew with pearl barley, dehydrated meal, and a lovely bottle of Malbec flavoured water. Just remember, kids, stay hydrated. Right, there we go then. Trusty jet boil, water boiled in no time. Let's get it chucked in here. As always, going to give it a really good stir. Make sure you get all the bits out the bottom, hiding in them corners. Right then, let's get this sealed up. Leave it for, these are one of the longer ones, so leave it for 15 minutes and then we'll bring you back to see how it's looking. Right then, here we go. 15 minutes has passed, so it's going to be lovely and rehydrated or cooked, depending on how you want to look at it. So what it says on the back, slow cooked British beef with potatoes, celeriac, don't ask me what that is, too posh for me, and carrot served with soft pearl barley. Let's get stuck in, eh? It's nice, that, yeah. It's been in for the 15 minutes. It's still got a bit of crunch to it, which realistically you want that from your veg. So I'd say I prefer that to the Summit to Eat beef stew and potatoes that I had on the last video. But again, it's still not in the league of the chicken tikka masala, the summit to eat meal. So I'm seriously considering making camping night, curry night, and just stockpiling the curries. I mean, that with a bottle of Malbec flavoured water, who could blame me? Right then, I've finished my food, polished off my half bottle of Malbec. So I've left myself one beer for the rest of the night. I'm going to spend a little bit of time now just editing some of the clips that I've taken today and tonight, just so I can look at getting this video released hopefully tomorrow on YouTube for everyone that watches it. Again, your support is very much appreciated. Starting out, never thought that anybody be interested in watching my videos, so thank you to everyone who does watch the videos, who likes them, you know, leaves a comment and does subscribe to the channel. It is very much appreciated. So yeah, I'm gonna get a little bit of editing done, finish my last beer, and then call it a night. So unless anything eventful happens, I'll speak to you in the morning. Good night. Well, good morning. It's just gone 5 o'clock. I wasn't planning on being up this early, I'll be honest, but I've had not the best night's sleep, which is pretty much typical this week since coming off nights on Monday. I've not been sleeping great. I've probably managed about 6 hours of pretty heavy broken sleep there. Awake pretty much every hour, which isn't ideal, but you know, it's still nice to be out and still nice to be giving the mind a good reset in the outdoors. Let's get this tent opened, see what we're dealing with this morning. Well, it looks like it's going to be another lovely day. I think I'm going to get up, get a coffee on, and then just have a look at getting packed up and getting off early this morning with being awake. Don't think there's any point hanging around, so I'll bring you back in a little while. Cheers. That's nice this morning. Like I said a minute ago, I'm not going to hang around this morning. I'll have this cereal bar, finish my coffee, get packed up, and then look to get off. Probably head off by about 6. Well, that's it then, all squared away. Everything packed up in the bag, ready to go. As you can see, I've made sure to leave no trace other than a patch of flat grass where the tent was set up last night. As always, I've got my rubbish bag here, which I'll keep to hand, and I'll pick up any other bits of litter that I see on my way down, making sure we look after these beautiful outdoors so that everybody can make the most of it. Right then, I'm nearly back at the car, so I think I'll sign this one off here while I've still got a little bit of scenery in the background to show you. Another really enjoyable night out. So good just to get out and just allow the mind to reset and just, you know, take in the views, take in the sunset, and just relax. So thank you very much if you've made it this far. If you have liked what you've seen, please do give the video a thumbs up, and you know the drill, leave me a comment. I love hearing from you, and subscribe to the channel to make sure you don't miss out on any future trips that I go on. So yeah, thank you very much for staying this long. Until the next one, stay safe and take it easy.